Now, I won't lie. Usually when I'm watching an anime, I don't feel bad for any of the characters that go through the mishaps of that anime because 9 times out of 10, they signed up to join that story. But in this case, in the case we're going to talk about today, Shigechi didn't. Shigechi was literally just a 14-year-old boy living in Morio with his parents who just did immature things that a 14-year-old boy would. And he just ran into the wrong man on the wrong day. And no one could help him because Kara was 10, 15, 20 steps ahead of him. It was actually ridiculous how easy Kira was finding out how to beat him. But if you haven't picked it up by now, we're talking about Shigechi, and honestly, I'm probably going to title this video something like how much I feel bad for him. Because if I'm being honest, just imagine being a regular 14-year-old. You didn't do anything. You just go to school, go home, get some fast food, and next thing you know, one day, the bags are accidentally mixed up of the food bag you're about to get from this place you always go to. You can't be blamed for that, you know what I mean? I mean, you can. Nah, you kind of can, because someone like me, I'm going to check my bag at the store. But that probably would have got me killed at the store, you know what I mean? Or I would have called Yoshikage Kira to like intently follow me. But even still, I'm checking my bag.
Okay, bye.
I can't walk out without checking my bag. You know, maybe I want a fry. He ain't want no fries. But we're introduced to Shigechi as, you know, somewhat of an antagonist. You know, he was going around stealing people's money, but he still, after he lost, he still wasn't really doing much that was bad. And him and Josuke and Okuyasu all ended up being pretty decent. They weren't that close, don't get me wrong, but it's not like they hated each other or anything. As a matter of fact, they became friends during Shigechi's first appearance because his first appearance was actually very lighthearted compared to what would be his second and last appearance. In his first appearance, essentially what he was doing was he was going around collecting money using harvest, and you know, Josuke and Okuyasu tried to join and they wanted a third each. Now, their plan eventually backfired, and Shigechi was like, you know what, screw y'all. Y'all not getting shit. I'm out. And it leads to like just Josuke and Okuyasu chasing Shigechi down, and that's actually one of my favorite episodes when I first watched it because I love the chase scene. I love seeing Okuyasu and Josuke work together. But yeah, he only had 2 appearances, and that was his first one, and that was so lighthearted. Once we got to a second one where we actually meet Yoshikage Kira, I didn't think that would take place. Because even in the second appearance, we're started off with, you know, Josuke, Okuyasu, and Shigechi all talking about getting some food. You know, Shigechi goes out, gets some food, and after that, his bag accidentally gets swapped with Kira, and Kira gets it back, and Shigechi's like, no, that's my bag. But Shigechi aimed to take his bag back from Yoshikage Kira after he believed Kira took his bag. But as soon as he grabbed, that's when the hand fell out. And that's when Kira got pretty fucking serious. Now I want to pause right here. I'll come back to his death, of course. But this is the point where you can feel really bad for Shigechi. Because again, I'm going to say this again. Imagine you were just chopping it up with your friends, whatever y'all talking about, we all wanted to eat. They broke, you're not. You start laughing at them, you go get your food, whatever, but your bag accidentally gets swapped. And now you're fighting this homicidal, hand-loving maniac. And on top of that, it's lunchtime, so you extra hungry. Like, don't get me wrong, y'all know how it be when it's lunchtime and you super hungry. You be like, I gotta deal with these. You know what I mean? But after he found out, you know, Shigechi saw the hand, Kira, he just blew up 100 yen coin, just wounding the fuck out of Shigechi. And, you know, we get the next episode where, and that was really tough for me because I'm watching it and they're just giving us, oh yeah, he might make it. This man crawls all the way to where Josuke and Okuyasu are. I had never seen something like that in like an anime for real, where you're getting an almost entire episode of this man crawling to safety because he wanted Crazy Diamond to heal him because he knew that was the only person. But he can't get to the door. You know what I mean? And also, I have to say this. Them 3 girls that walked by him and clowned on him, they was hella wrong for that. And everyone knows they was hella wrong too. Like, that was so fucked up. That was so fucked up. But yeah, he's about to get to the door. As soon as he touches the door, of course Killer Queen had already touched it and set up a bomb. But what I will say about Shigechi's death is that it was what caused everyone to wake up. You know what I mean? Every stand user in the town, they literally had town meetings after that. All the stand users would come together because they're just like, yo, we got to get this nigga out of here. Like, it was literally like, imagine if you had a neighborhood watch group for a homicidal maniac, but one of y'all, no, all of y'all are trained Marine vets. All of y'all have the skill to get that man off the street. It's just, can y'all catch him? It's the real question. Like, but he's the cause of that. Without Shigechi dying, we don't get them being able to even track Kira in the slightest, because during Shigechi's death, Shigechi had taken off a button off one of Kira's coats. But I still think it's just sad, you know. A middle schooler had to pay with his life just because he accidentally grabbed the wrong bag of food. And he saw something he just wasn't supposed to see. And it's the fact that Kira just had no qualms, not even a second thought, getting a 14-year-old out of there just to keep his secret identity. And then, but it's at that same breath, he'll be the same guy like, why are you doing this to me? Why is fate treating me like this? Nigga, shut up. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 5K, so anything helps. And until next time, peace.